In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 6, the season 1 finale of Hellbound. Holy shit, let me just say, what is this show? Wow. I didn't expect how this would end. I didn't expect anything because, like I said in my previous reviews, episodes 1 through 3 focus on a detective investigating the entire situation and the phenomenon of the new truth and the chairman, Jung Ji-soo. Episodes 4 through 6 take place 5 years after those events that happened between episodes 1 to 3, and things pick up for the crazy better. Now, episodes 4 through 5 explain that the newborn child of Young-ja, who was a producer for a broadcasting company, got a decree of a death date. They're trying to figure out why. So basically, his wife takes the baby to the New Truth Society building and the organization, and she wants to find out why. She gives one of the deacons a thumb drive and a phone to see what's happening. He shows his other fellow deacons and the other chairperson, the second in command, after Jung Ji-soo died. They don't understand what's happening. They figure out that if this gets out to the public, they're dead. That's it. The New Truth Society is done. It's finished. What can happen? So basically, the head of the New Truth tells everybody, hold the baby and the mother captive to keep them in separate rooms. Young-ja finds out. He goes to the New Truth Society, and somehow the attorney out of nowhere shows up with her own guys, and just hell starts breaking loose. No pun intended. While this is happening, she finds out that she goes to this person who I mentioned in episode 5 was part of the New Truth and Arrowhead Society, and we find that this guy was the one who was the leader or so-called online streamer of the Arrowhead. You know, he did all that because they show his mask in the closet, and all of a sudden he finds out that, you know, he also got a decree on his death day. So the baby dies, and then 5 minutes later, he dies. So they're trying to figure out what's happening. This guy calls the New Truth Society and tells them, oh, I have the baby here, this and that, you know. And he's like a prophet or the Messiah sending messages. They want to, you know, understand what he's talking about. And he knows the New Truth Society is bullshit. They're not playing around. But, you know, they get to a point where they find out where everybody is and they find out what's happening. So this guy, this Arrowhead guy, Dong-wook is doing things in his own way. He starts killing people again. He's like, oh, I'm the Messiah. God made me want to do this. Your baby's going to die. I'm the one that, correct the wrong, you know. God made a mistake. God never makes a mistake. I'm the one that's going to correct everything. He's really losing his mind because, as you can see, not only between episodes 1 through 3, he was doing his online streaming online. But then episodes 4 through 6, he slowly backed down because he got a decree. And as we know with Jung Ji-soo, he started understanding things because when he got his decree 20 years earlier, he didn't know what to do. So this Dong-wook got his decree, trying to figure out what to do. He stopped online streaming. The New Truth rose up. 5 years later, the whole story comes full circle. It's interesting. And the way this show ends is insane. So, if you haven't seen this show, stop here right now because there are spoilers from here on out at this mark. So if you want to stop watching this video, stop here right now. Okay, if you're still watching, you can still continue watching because there are spoilers. Now, at the end of the episode, we find out that the baby is getting that decree, and it's going through these creatures show up, and you're like, holy shit, what's happening? All the while, Dong-wook, the leader of or member of the Arrowhead, is fighting the attorney in his apartment. They're battling it out, and the New Truth Society is trying to find out where these people are. So they pinpoint them at this local abandoned supermarket where everybody lives, so to speak. So far, don't actually follow the New Truth, so to speak. So these creatures show up, and the mother is, doing her best just to try and save the baby of all costs. She's running around and fighting, and all of a sudden she gets hit. She gets flown away like 50 feet in the air. The husband shows up, and all of a sudden, and such a touching, it's the husband and then the wife holding the baby. They hug each other, and then these creatures just do their magic powers, and they die. Like, oh my god, it's such sad, sad scene. But then something happens. Something miraculous happens where the baby lives. Yeah, the baby lived. Shocking, one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in any ending of season finale ever, because the parents died, but the baby lived. So it's like, was it a life for a life? Did the creatures know? Do the creatures even know what they are? They never explain where these creatures came from. They never explain who they are, what they are. It just says in one episode where Jung Ji-soo went to the mountains of Tibet walking, and he saw these creatures, and that was it. So are they some form of mythical thing from, the mountains of Tibet, or what are they? They never explain it. So while that happens, this stupid arrowhead guy goes to try and stab the baby, but the attorney grabs the baby and is running around, and everybody is around watching, filming on their phones, and then it's just, happen, and all of a sudden 5 minutes later happens. You hear the sounds of these creatures coming back, and all yet you see but one creature, maybe two, come around. They grab this guy and they give him the most violent death you've ever seen these creatures do since the first episode when they appeared in the opening scenes of this series. They just give it to this guy, and then they burn him, they take his soul. And then it's funny because when he gets burned, in a faraway shot, you see that his body and the markings resemble the arrowhead symbol, which is really interesting and really great in how they did everything. Not only that, the attorney takes the baby, and the new truth come in, and they try and stop everything, and the deacon's just like beating the shit out of an old man for no reason, and nobody's stopping to do anything. Nobody. You commit your sins for all of a sudden, and so they arrest the deacon, and the New Truth Society is done for. Now the attorney takes the baby into a taxi and rides off, and then the taxi driver is driving, keeps looking back in the rearview mirror of the attorney, and she has this baby, and the attorney is like, okay, I want to go to the main road. So all of a sudden the taxi driver makes a turn. Oh, it's like, holy shit, what's happening? Is he part of the New Truth? What's happening? So then we find out that this taxi driver is one of those people who doesn't have a belief in any god or any religion. He's like an atheist, so to speak. But he's like, we'll get you to safety for that reason. So they ride off, and that's the end of the show. That's what happens. It leaves it open, But something big happens at the very last scene. And I just want to say reincarnation happens. Yeah. Reincarnation happens, and of Park Jun-ja, the first public demonstration of this series of the creatures. It's insane. It's crazy. All of a sudden, her limbs and forms come back together. She breathes. Series over. Season 1 ending. That's what happens. Young Sung-ho is Train to Busan, Peninsula, now this. The webtoon Hellbound is really, really good if you've never seen it. They captured the essence of the webtoon so perfectly and really, really fun. I had a blast watching this show. It's one of those shows where it really uses your mind of how certain things work, and about of God, religion, having a religion, death, sin, hell, the devil, creatures, demons, so on and so forth, so to speak. The Korean mind, the Korean aspect is interesting. It's a dark fantasy. It's a drama thriller. It's on Netflix. And it's like, it's so good. It's so good. It's really good. It's only 6 episodes. Episodes 1 through 3 tell one story. Episodes 4 through 6 tell a different story with different characters, but takes place 5 years later after the events of what happens at the end of episode 3. You could say this is split into 2 different seasons, but it's all one cohesive, one big season. The acting was great. The special effects were phenomenal. The surprising, controversial aspect of everything about the show was good. I wanted more. Anything that's 6 to 8 episodes is really hard because you have to throw everything in there. You have to fit everything in there. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Anything maybe that's 12 to 16 or 16 to 20, perfect. If Hellbound was 20 episodes, I'm pretty sure it would have dragged on. 6 episodes is great. But like I said, this was a great thing. It really makes you think about how society is, how society views things, and what happens within 5 to 10 years after something happens in a big societal way around the world. They did mention that not only is this happening in South Korea, but it's happening all over the world. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be spin-offs, an American version, or however it's done. But some of the stuff that happened in this show, you definitely can't show in other certain countries because it's such graphic, it's too crazy and insane. For me, Hellbound gets 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this show. It's probably one of my top shows of 2021, and this was really, really fun to watch. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about season 1 of Hellbound. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Was it too controversial for you? And do you think it's comparable to Squid Game? A lot of people are comparing it to it, maybe because it's an original Korean drama from Netflix, but it has nothing to do with the aspect of how everything is. Squid Game's about money and trying to understand certain ways of life. This is about death, reincarnation, and everything. And even though Hellbound beat Squid Game by becoming the world's most watched Netflix series the next day, it's really impacted a lot of people. Korean cinema, Korean TV series, K-dramas, Korean movies are here in around the world, and they're showing their mark of how well they know how to do filmmaking, how well they know how to tell a story. Just don't remake anything. This series, episodes 1 through 6, take place between 42 to 60 minutes long. I think the longest episode is episode 5. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Hellbound. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And is this one of your favorite Korean dramas of all time? If it's not, let me know in the comment section below what your favorite Korean drama is. And don't say Squid Game, because that's too easy. So let me know anything other than Hellbound or Squid Game. What is your favorite Korean drama? And let me know, because if I've never seen it, I'll check it out. I'll do my reviews on it. So let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And I'll see you guys in the next review video.